Okay, to begin with, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the first two strings, the E string and the A string. Okay? Now, in music, if you've ever picked up a piece of sheet music for worship, you're going to have either one of two things. You're either going to have numbers on there or you're going to have note names. Well, for now we're going to stick with note names, but as we go on, it will be helpful for you to know the numbers, so a lot of times I'll interchange the two and tell you what the numbers are. Don't worry about it right now. We're going to go over it so much that you're just going to naturally pick up on it. Now, the musical alphabet is probably the most important thing for a bass player to know. This is going to be the one thing that we do that's going to feel the most like school. You're going to have to memorize some note names, okay? Now, the musical alphabet, though, is also very short and it's pretty easy to figure out. It seems complicated, but I'm going to teach you some tricks to make it really, really easy to figure out. Okay? So, the alphabet goes like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and there's no H, right? So it goes back to A, all right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay? That's how the musical alphabet works. Now that's not just for the bass, that's on guitar, that's on piano. Drums is its own thing. They don't even care about notes, they just care about rhythm. Okay? So, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All right? Now, as you could imagine, what you would think is that would mean if this is A, right here, the second string going down away from your chin, second string away from your chin. So string number 2 is A, all right? You would think it would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? No, it's not. It can't be that easy, right? The way that the musical alphabet works, if you think about a piano, you have white keys and you have black keys. Now, black keys are particular notes that land in between some but not all of the notes, and that's where it gets a little bit complicated. Okay? So, what we're going to do is I'm going to start by just showing you what the notes on the dots are, and then from there we're going to work out what our major scale pattern is and where the black keys fit in, basically. Okay? Alright, so we should already know that this first string right here, the one that's closest to our chin, that's an E. Alright? Play an E with me. Very good. Alright? Now we're going to skip an F and we're going to go to a G. G is the first dot on the E string. So that fat string up at the top, you're going to press down on the 3rd fret, which is the one with the dot. Make sure you're up near the front of that fret. We're going to play G. Very good. Alright, now we're going to slide up 2 frets to the next dot that should be on your fretboard, and this is an A. This is the 5th fret. Alright, now check this out. We've just played the A. Now we're going to skip down to the 2nd string. Play that note. It should sound familiar. Play the 5th fret of the E string, the first fat one, and then the open string, 2nd string, A. They are the same note. Okay? Alright. Now, we're going to go all the way up to the 7th fret, and so we're going to skip up 2 more frets on the E string, and this should be a B. Alright? So let's do that again. All the notes that we've learned so far on the E string. E, G, A, and B. Very good. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing. Now, I just want you to remember those locations because the dots are easy to find, right? And if you memorize, okay, an E is open, the G is 3rd fret, A is 5th fret, B is 7th fret, it's going to help as anchor points and places where you can remember, Well, I know a B is there, so I know if I need to play a C on the E string, it's probably going to be pretty close to the B, right? Okay, so that they're just memory pegs to help you get from one thing to another. Okay, all right, now we're going to start with the A over here on the second string. All right, let's play it. A. Okay, now the same spacing, we're going to play a C, which is the 3rd fret on the A string. Okay, we're going to go up 2 frets to a D, and then we're going to go up 2 frets to an E. Now E should sound familiar because play the 7th fret on the A string, that's your E, and now play the open string on the bottom. Now, you'll notice that this sounds a little bit different than when we played the 5th fret on the E string and the open string. Those are exactly the same note. But in this case, we have open string in E, 7th fret on A, and they're both E. All right, now this is that word octave that I was talking about earlier. All right, remember the musical alphabet repeats itself. That is super helpful for us because once you memorize something down here, it's going to repeat itself throughout the neck, and you'll be able to learn the fretboard very easily on the bass. Okay, so E and E right here. Okay, but they're an octave apart. So you can imagine that, you know, if you've got an E and then you come up 3 frets and then it's a G, and if you're here, E up 3 frets and it's a G, right? You can use some logic to start figuring out stuff like that, okay? All right, so but right now we're just worried about these 2 strings, okay? All right, now you may have noticed that I skipped some stuff. Remember when we were on the 5th fret of the E string, we played A, and then we went up 2 frets, and there's a B, okay? Which makes sense with our alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? But when we played on the 2nd string, we went A, and then we went to the 3rd fret, and we went to the C, right? Well, what happened to the B? Well, this is where the black keys come into play, all right? When you are playing a B, in the 2nd string, it's going to be on the 2nd fret. Okay, you can figure that out here. A, 2 frets up, B, open string A, 2 frets up, B. Okay, so what is this note, right? Well, this is where we have things that are called sharps and flats. Okay, so in between 2 whole note names, an A and a B, you have A sharp or B flat. Okay, it is A sharp and B flat are the same thing. They're just that note that's in between. We're not going to worry about that too much right now. For right now, what I want you to do is work on memorizing E, G, A, B, A, C, D, E. Okay? All right. I'll have some type of quiz for you here where you can quiz yourself on how well you know these note names.